Alright guys, so after a very long time, the physical type banner has returned, and with it is this beast right here. This physical Super Buu, the 40% extreme physical Super Buu. A very good unit, one of the best extreme physical units in the game. Probably the best of all of the 40% support units. And if these guys ever do eventually get Dokkan Awakenings, I certainly do want to see what he will turn into. Now, you can actually farm this guy with the Tech Super Boos right here that you can farm from the Kid Buu event. Interesting that you can farm, Super Buu from the Kid Buu event, right? You can actually farm not only Super Buu, but also Fat Buu as well. And then, I guess, by extension, you could use the SR Buff Buu to essentially sort of grind Kid Buu as well. You guys are familiar that SR Buff Buu Dokkan Awakens into Kid Buu. So, like, all the different forms of Majin Buu are pretty much easy to get to SA10, right? So, now that I got this guy to SA10, I definitely want to run Extreme Physical with this guy on it. He certainly will make that team, I think, run a lot better. And, you know, his healing abilities, how well he links up with the Gotenks Absorbed Super Buu is very good as well. Only thing is, it's going to be very hard to find a cooler friend. I don't even think it will be possible to find a cooler friend right now, so let me see if I can do that. Alright guys, so I was able to find a couple cooler friends. I took to Twitter, shout outs to you guys for adding me, and also to Wokey, one of the Dokkan subreddit mods, for adding me back. Shout outs to all you guys. So, we'll hop into a couple events. I might use two different style of extreme physical teams here, because with the Majin Buu Gotenks Absorbed, you can actually build a very good defensive rotation with the two Majin Buus, because one of the reasons why this Super Buu is so good is because of the fact that he heals when he super attacks. Healing units are very good in Dokkan, especially with like how high like some of the units' stats are. It's very easy to not take damage unless you get super attacked. And since 90% of the events in the game, you're only going to be getting super attacked, once per turn, just any sort of healing will really go a long way for you. So we got Buu in the second rotation, so I'll float off Gotenks Absorb Buu, and then we'll get the two of them mixed together. Frieza, of course, will get a super attack right there, because he does get Ki if he is in the first slot, so that should be looking pretty good right there. Now, I'm very curious what they're going to do with these support type units, right? If they eventually awaken these guys, like, I don't know what they're going to do with the support type units, because right now they are still exclusive to the type banners. They're ridiculously good for their respective teams, right? But at the same time, that's really the only place you could use them is on the 120% teams. Like, you could maybe get another one of these guys on, like for example, this Super Buu, right? He is on the Majin Buu Saga category. He could be pretty good there on the Majin Buu Saga category. Also, he is going to do ridiculous extra damage in this event because Super Buus and Piccolos do crazy damage in the Gotenks event. Always got to make these units look good any way you can, right? But we'll probably do another event after this as well, but really the attack set is what we're looking for. So, these units are specific to the type banners, and they're basically only designed just for the specific teams that they're on. But I almost could kind of see when they get their Dokkan Awakenings, if they would go up, like their stats don't even really have to change. If these units would just become like Ki 3 and then a 40% buff to like any type, like think of how ridiculous these units would be. Maybe that's unrealistic, mainly because of the reason that like Turles is a Dokkan Fest unit, right? And the buff he gets is 40% to attack. So I guess it's very wishful thinking to think that they're going to make a batch of units that are going to have that plus 40% defense, because Turles is 3 Ki and 40% attack, Whereas these 40% support units, they're whatever typing, physical typing, SCR, AGL, tech, int, whatever. And then they're either, extreme physical, super and extreme int, whatever, 40% to attack and defense. So I think Evil Buu is going to go ahead and actually one-shot Gotenks here. Well, not one-shot him, but finish him off. I also brought the Baba Shop Nappa. He's a pretty solid support type unit. This Buu, by the way, I do kind of regret 100%ing him. So far, he wasn't really that helpful for Dokkan, excuse me. I was going to say Dokkan Battlefield, but Super Battle Road is what I meant to say. He wasn't really that useful on Super Battle Road. Like, his seals were nice, but it's very difficult to make it work. Maybe if Ultimate Gohan does indeed have a weakness to the Majin Buu Saga category, I've heard a lot of people theorize that would be the weakness because, there's so many powerful physical cards on the Majin Buu Saga category. Be it Super Vegito, Buu Tanks Absorb. There's also this Super Buu. There's a physical Kid Buu. There's plenty of options that would work for the Majin Buu Saga against that Gohan. So I do think it's very realistic to think that could be what his weakness is. If that's true, then both of these Boos will be absolutely really good there. Now this Super Buu, I would also actually say he's probably good enough to maybe want to chase a couple dupes. I've been thinking about it. I was going to do the LR Trunks grind twice, so that way I could save Elder Kai's. But I actually think I might go ahead and do 5 multis on the physical type banner to see if I can't get a dupe for this Super Buu right here. Just because he's so good with that healing on his super attack, his links are fantastic, and then who knows what will happen with him whenever he might end up getting his Dokkan Awakening. Alright, and we will top it off by going into the Future Gohan Dokkan event. I haven't really run this event very many times recently. I was thinking maybe of re-embarking on that challenge. Maybe I try and take some of the lower end category teams here into the Future Gohan event and see if I'm able to beat them. I would say so, because the Future Gohan event certainly seems easier to me than something like the Jiren event was, or even the Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta event as well. Gohan is annoying with that damage resistance, and it certainly could create problems for a 120% team like we're running, because not a lot of these units are going to be doing tremendous mega amounts of damage to where they'll be able to kind of break through Gohan's damage resistance there. So Buu, actually this is going to work out perfect. Buu's going to flip back around onto this rotation. I might try and keep the two Buus together. It also would work having a rotation with one of the Coolers and Super Buu as well. The two of them make a pretty good sort of 1-2 punch. This Buu, it's crazy, because a lot of the other 40% are okay, right? Like Kabe, I know, has an interesting little attack buff ability on his super attack. Then there's who was I gonna say? Hit can stun at a pretty high clip on his super attack, right? So there's a couple other interesting abilities that some of these fuckers have. But this Super Buu, that 15% healing, 15% is a very large number. That's another reason he's so good. Think of what Texcel's EZA is, right? He gets 10% health when he super attacks. But then this fucker gets 15%. I believe 15% is also the same number that LR Goku Black heals, at the beginning of a turn. So I do kind of like ooh, we got a triple super rotation from Cooler. That is very rare to get the trip super though. Woo! Okay. I see you, Cooler. And then here's Omega. I still actually don't have any dupes for Omega, which is very shameful. He's only been on 2 banners since I've been on GP. His original banner, which I got fucked on, and then the SCR Rose Goku Black banner, which I also got fucked on, but I did manage to... I pulled until I got 1 copy of him and the other one. Can Gohan be sealed? He can. He most definitely can. Okay. So they have Metamorphosis. See, that's pretty good. That allows them to heal. That Metamorphosis link is not too shabby. I've been learning, like, these healing links, like Metamorphosis and Connoisseur, are very, very helpful, especially if you want to try and build, like, a healing type team. So I'm going to have Buu Tanks right there in that first slot go ahead and get that seal on his ass. Frieza's not going to get key because he's not in the first slot, so I do need to make sure I get him 12 key. Well, I was going to say, watch this fucker super in that first slot right there. But, you know, if it's an event where the unit can actually be sealed, you bet your ass I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of that and make sure that this fucker's not doing anything to us. And notice we took a lot of damage, fell below 300,000 health right there, but then Buu says, fuck you! And then, boom, we're healed almost all the way back up. Whew, 36,000. That's a lot right there. So, without any orbs, he certainly is like a little bit of a... I don't even know if glass cannon is the right word, but he certainly is going to stand there and get fucked up, huh? So, right around here is where, like, the rest of this event, it's possible it could take a while. Well, we'll see how high Gohan's damage resistance will be in the next turn, right? That's, you know, doing 440,000, that's still pretty good. I'm not getting a lot of crits today. Oh, okay, the dodge? Yo, I'm getting a lot of dupe system, like, love right now, just not with crits. Also, Omega at nearly 1 million attack stat right there with no dupes in him. Like, that's wild to think about. This man Omega, no dupes, is getting, like, an attack stat, like, close to what many rainbow units in the game will get. Very, very impressive. How about now? Can Gohan be sealed? Yeah, he can. Yeah. So, they decided this was an event where they're like, you know what? Fuck it. You guys want to stun him, seal him, any of that shit? Go ahead. So, I mean, hey, if the man could be sealed, guess what? We're going to go ahead and do it. Watch him super the first turn, though. Okay, I was going to say, damn! Gotenks Buu taking that much damage even though he is rainbowed. Again, this fucker right here is rainbowed, and he's taking a lot of damage. He did 600k with the crit. Okay, so that's fine. That's fine. Ooh, but how much damage are they going to be doing without a crit? That will be a better test. Like, this is going to do absolutely nothing to him. Yeah, 100 damage. I figured, but the healing will be nice. How much will Cooler do? We do have Super Buu on rotation. Wow, only 285,000. Gohan does not fuck around with his damage resistance here. So hopefully we can get some crits so we can move a little faster. Usually, I don't like to get bogged down in events too much. That's why I've been doing boss rush a little much lately. I've talked about this before, how much I hate just constantly like going through boss rush every single video. That's why I thought, like, why not go through the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks event today in this one? Because, like, that's not an event that I feel like I've run that event, like the physical Gotenks event, like twice on my channel, because that was one of the events, like the rare events, where it was already out on JP when I started playing JP, but it hadn't yet come to global, right? Because really, I made like the full-time switch to JP, like right around when the Super Saiyan 4s came out. Like, I remember recording the Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta events on global for the first time on the channel. But like physical Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, Int Kid Buu, Super 17, STR Janemba, Int Gogeta. Those are all units that had come out on JP, that were already on JP when I made the switch, but they weren't yet on global. Alright, so this is pretty good. This, you know, extreme physical team, been able to get a lot of heals, so we haven't had to use any items as of yet. This could be a very damaging rotation if Gohan would super right away, though, but he didn't, so we're fine. Because I presume Gohan super attacking, even Gotenks Buu, would probably do 120 to 130,000, which could be very sizable. But that just goes to show you how easy Future Gohan really is. He's not a difficult boss event whatsoever. For a 120% team to not have to use items, I mean, Extreme Physical is... It's good in terms of defense against certain events, but... How do I word this? Extreme Physical is one of the typings that certainly does need a buff, right? Like, it only has one LR, which is the Ginyu Force, which is a free-to-play LR, and it's really not even that, like, amazing. So Extreme Physical definitely could use like an Extreme Physical LR Cell or LR Super Baby 2 or some shit like that. That could be like a crazy dominant beast, you know, something like what LR Goku Black is, or LR Majin Vegeta, LR Gohan, you know, one of those units like that. So I figure real quick before we end, I might just briefly look at what Super Buu can do here and why I'm such a fan of him. So this is Nightmare Redux Super Buu. His leader skill is Extreme Physical Key 3, HP attack and defense 50%. Could be useful for Dokkan Battlefield as a sub-leader skill. His super attack is the Vice Shout, which does supreme damage to the enemy and recovers 15% HP. Very, very substantial number right there. His passive skill is Wicked Grin, which is Physical Key 3, and then Extreme Physical get 40% to attack and defense. Then his links are the Innocence, Brutal Beatdown, Metamorphosis, Majin, Infinite Regeneration, Fear and Faith, and the Wall Standing Tall. Wait, does 3... He does have 7 links, huh? I wonder what link he would lose if he awakened. Probably, like, the Innocence. The Innocence, I think, is a link I feel like the Innocence is probably a link that Buu should not have, but whatever. But that's another reason he's so good. Like, you know, Metamorphosis, Fear and Faith, Wall Standing Tall, like Brutal Beatdown, he has pretty good villain links. Then he has a 12K multiplier of 135%, which is decent. And he does only have the one category, the Majin Buu Saga category. I could see there being a Majin Buu category just for like Buu, you know, units themselves. Hopefully that would be the case. And you guess some of the goofy, like, you know, Majin Buu Bobbity Absorbed, maybe Majin Android 21 would fall under that category, even though she's more of an android, we'd see. Regardless, though, this is probably the best of the 40% support type units, and I was very glad to have finally pulled them. When I was struggling with Extreme Physical Super Battle World, this guy really would have helped there. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch y'all next time.